What is up, and ahoy crypto clan and crew. It's your boy the Captain coming to you live from down under. Wishing you all the best in your cryptocurrency ventures and this latest round of ICOs that have been coming. There's a few more really good ones coming up too, i.e. Davor Coin and Ucoin Cash. But today I wanted to take a little bit of a different tact. Being the skipper and being responsible for you guys, as I class you as my crew, my very, very valued, subscribers. Also, just members in the... So today, the Captain's going to have a little talk to you about how to navigate our way through some of the fakes, scams, and rubbish ICOs that are out there. So come on guys, let's go and have a look and see what we've got. First of all, I want to start by having a look at fake ICOs, common crypto scams, and ways that we can avoid falling into wasting our money and basically end up getting sunk. It says here, this is a very good little article, the cryptocurrency world is full of stories of people who are either getting hacked, so true that is, for their precious digital currencies, or they're falling into scams and into traps. Because of the decentralised and open nature of the cryptocurrency world, protection is not freely offered. Users are expected to be savvy enough to not fall for scams and traps, but that takes some work. Below guys, we've got a few scams and tips on how to avoid them. Now, they break them down into a couple. Let's just address the top three. First of all, we have fake ICOs. The ICO market and its related frenzy have been unprecedented in recent times. As a crowdfunding exercise, companies have seen millions of dollars roll in a matter of minutes as people look to invest in the latest startup or digital currency. Now that's true. I mean, we saw just the other day Davor Coin doing an incredible feat of, within 10 seconds, well over 1 million coins. So, the proof is really in the pudding right there. Fake ICOs are not easy to spot. Some believe themselves that they are legitimate. What you should be looking for is proof of endorsements, involvements from reputable figures, as well as a legitimate team. Now, we've just seen with East Connect as a classic example of illegitimate teams, with different people's faces being used, and that's to be expected. That's not going to stop us from investing into some of these platforms. What the Captain's trying to do is to give you some advice and bring up some relative points for you to be able to digest. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, these are my opinions, but I do feel like I have a responsibility in this space with you guys who look to me for advice to be able to give you sound and reputable advice myself. So, it says here, white paper is also going to be a go-to to determine if the company has a clear plan or idea. A lot of the ICOs out there that we've seen, guys, have had just absolute rubbish, absolute bullshit for white paper. It's like a space filler. But some of them, if you do your due diligence, you'll be able to see very carefully that they have put in quite a fair bit of pre-planning, pre-thought, and not just empty promises. Of course, some ICOs aren't scams and are legit, but many may still be a trap. And we have to be careful if they are, that we avoid them. So, as a rule, some of the scams out there we know are ICOs. The second that they like to bring up, and I thought was quite interesting as well, is where we hold a lot of our currencies, a lot of our coins, altcoins included, are wallet scams. Because the majority of cryptocurrency users use online wallets, they are also an easy option for scammers to try and utilise in order to attack people's cryptocurrency stashes. This is true. Many wallets to choose from out there. There are literally thousands to choose from. But really guys, it is vital that we choose a really reputable wallet. One that you've got a lot of research on, done your homework on, and have truly vetted. And that's where you're going to be keeping most of your earnings, sometimes your winnings, your profit. It's a very private and important thing for you to hold. Now, I know a lot of you aren't newbies, but this is, important that we do get the message across to our newer members out there, just how important it is to have a safe hold on your cryptocurrencies these days. It still is the Wild West out there, make no mistake about that. These are uncharted waters a lot of the time, and if we're not careful, it's really a case of anything goes. So we've had a look at the fake ICOs. Unfortunately, dare I say it, Elektra looks like it might be one of those prime examples. That's why the captain is bringing this up today. You know, we've also seen people lose a lot of money on controlled finance, and there are going to be more to come, believe you me. In between the hundreds that we're going to see, probability of numbers, guys, how can there not be scams amongst them? So we have to almost scam proof ourselves to what's coming up in the future ahead of us, so that we can have happy and profitable times ahead. Smooth sailing, as the captain would say. Right, the next one that I would like to cover is email scams, guys. Because emails are so easily dished out, and it's our main form, apart from IM, to communicate with each other, they're ideal tools for guys to scam us. We know this. We have internet security, we have protocols that we use to try and hack it and scam proof ourselves, phishing proof ourselves. But look, you know, it's really important because a lot of blockchain enthusiasts recently have received emails from an address claiming to be my Ether wallet. Now, a lot of the Ether-based programs, you know, that are out there at the moment, they all, you know, require you to have an Ether wallet out there. And one of the most popular ones out there, and the captain himself has a My Ether wallet, is My Ether wallet. They were sending out emails where you were prompted to log on to a fake version of the site to prevent actually losing your funds. The email scammers posed as the wallet providers, and all they were doing was phishing and searching for people who were easily swayed to give out that all-important. Now, the captain cannot stress to you how important it is that your keys, your private keys, are not to be used, touched, lent to anyone. For goodness sakes, find your own method, store that key, make sure it's in a hard copy. Get them a piece of paper, a pen, write the digits down in there, stash it away. If you lose it online, you will never be able to get access to that wallet again. So take some sound advice from the captain, especially our newbies. Do your due diligence, have your little pirate chest, and make sure that you keep it with the rest of your booty, the rest of your coins and the rest of your treasure. It says here, as a rule, you should never have to hand over your private keys, especially not over email. So crew, if I see you doing that, you will get keel-hauled. You will get to flog the cat o' nine tails, and you'll end up walking the plank. Right, number 4. Fake exchanges. Now, while there are thousands of wallet providers, many of them are unreportable. The same goes for exchanges. It is again important to be savvy and smart when deciding on an exchange to use. A general rule is that although smaller exchanges may be fine, it's always best to go with the big and popular ones. Now, we know a couple of those. There's Nova, there's Poloniex, you know, there's tons and tons out there. Another one is Coin Exchange IO and Yobit, which brings me, that'll come up in the next part very, very shortly, about Yobit. There's some very interesting information that I'd like you guys to see on that, as a lot of the ICOs and the platforms that we're participating in at the moment all seem to be using a certain group of exchanges. They seem to be very popular. Now, I don't know if there's any coincidence with this, but we'll have a look anyway. So generally, it's easy to spot a fake exchange if you've been in cryptocurrency for a while. However, if you're an absolute newbie, it's best to go with the popular and well-known ones. So that covers a little bit on the 4 main forms of I call, you know, scamming in a way. We saw at the start that we had, first, our fake ICOs. 2, we had our wallet scams. 3, we had our email scams. And 4th, we had the fake exchanges. So as long as we can remember those things, crew, we shouldn't have too many problems. It's important to refresh ourselves and not get caught up in too much of the hype, etc. you know, why these things keep happening to people, we're going to have a look on the next page and see. The next topic is fool me once, how to spot a cryptocurrency scam. So we've gone over the different kinds of scams there are. Now we're going to have a quick look at how to spot them. It says that ignorance and greed have been described as the fuel that has powered the engine of most scams and financial malpractices. Now, isn't that the truth? I mean, greed has been the undo of so many things in the past. It clouds our mind, it makes us make brash decisions. Greed can go hand in hand with FOMO, fear of missing out. And I think it's something that, you know, really needs to be addressed within every person. Every person's personality is different, and they need to take, you know, track and stock of where they are when they're doing a lot of these ICOs. It is so easy to get caught up in this and that, and we've had a 10x, you know, a 14x, a 20x. You know, it says that, look, there's a growing trend within the cryptocurrency industry that portrays the characteristics of a time bomb waiting to explode. Everywhere you turn, there's some kind of a coin to mine, and that is so true, folks. There's something to invest in, or there's some cryptocurrency-based MLM that promises the world extraordinary payouts, 10%, 20%. Now, we've seen over time, Bit Petite was another classic example, as the captain is saying, of one of those. How many times, my friends, it prompted, you know, and almost slapped me on the wrist for not getting into Bit Petite when I was quite happy investing with BitConnect. And I'd seen before, you know, I never had my hands burnt. Captain has never been once sunk yet. You know, I like to think that's from close friends and good advice and sound judgment. But we saw with Control Finance, a lot of people lose a lot of money. I wrote a very interesting article in the Future Money section site down there. It's run by Jedi Knight and Glenn Acaro on the horror. If you get a chance to pop across there, have a look. It's a fantastic site, and just look under Captain's Crypto. It's called The Horror, and it addresses the time where we all have to look in the mirror and take accountability and action for ourselves, and make sure that we have a contingency plan put in place, whatever that may be, for the times that we sink. There's also a few questions that need to be answered into why the public keeps falling for these tricks. You know, even though they've had a lot of painful experiences in the past. Now, there's a smart guy called Bob Wood, and he's one of the CEOs of the Nexus Partners. And he says that scams feed on two kinds of ingredients to create the perfect storm: ignorance and greed. If you're an ignorant and greedy person, you're going to be very susceptible to fall into all of these kinds of scams. It says the scammers twist the facts just enough to include a little bit of truth mixed in with deception, so as to occasionally fool individuals. If any guilt is to be found with most people, it's not for perpetuating the scam, but for not fully vetting the claim. He says that points are off from scams that are propagated within social circles, within people that you trust, sometimes on church, on YouTube especially, when everybody is getting in on it and there's a lot of FOMO, that you know, you would look at these people, take what they say as gospel, and they would never cheat or lie to us, but they might not know that they're getting cheated to and lied to themselves. Now, there's different categories of the cryptocurrency scam. There's opportunities pretending to be a cryptocurrency, and of course there's real cryptocurrencies that have no real value or creator. He goes on to say here basically that proper education, and how many times have we heard that knowledge is the key? Knowledge is power. Proper education, guys, is the solution. It says that we need to make sure that we do as much homework basically as we can, and it says that if we do so and we use what we have just been talking about and learning here, that we will be able to make our journey into the cryptocurrency world and our experiences into all of these ICOs a lot more pleasurable. Now, this concludes the end of part 1. Click back into part 2, and I'll see you on part 2. Until then, Happy sailing!